After 7 years of marriage, Jason finally filed for divorce from me over a trophy girlfriend. He said, "Luna. She's not like the other girls. She's pure and innocent with me." I nodded silently, holding back the excitement inside for fear of being seen. God knows. If he doesn't bring up the divorce, it's going to get overwhelming on my end. Last night, the cranky young master used 800 positions to force me to make it official. And now my whole body is still trembling uncontrollably. When I received Jason's divorce papers, my whole body was shaking. "Luna. When I'm sorry." Jason saw me shaking uncontrollably and said somewhat helplessly, "The little girl followed me purely and innocently. I have to give her a commitment." "Understood." I nodded my head. My body still can't control it and keeps shaking. Especially my legs. They were shaking into colander. But I didn't realize it. I was looking at the divorce papers very carefully. Jason and I have been married for 7 years. We grew up as childhood sweethearts, settled into a relationship in high school, and got married as soon as we graduated from college. Jason cried like a dog at the wedding, saying that it took blessed to be able to take me as his wife. But after the 3rd year of marriage, he had someone outside. When I found out for the first time, he panicked and begged me on his knees for forgiveness. I forgave. So there was a second, third, nth time. But he said no matter how he played outside, his wife would always be me. But this time, he finally filed for divorce from me over a trophy girlfriend. I've seen that little girl before. Just 20 years old. Very delicate. She likes to call Jason in the middle of the night. And when she does, she cries. Jason's heart was broken by crying. In order to appease the little girl, Jason is away from home more and more often. Today, he suddenly came back and scared me. In case we bump into each other. How embarrassing. I started having someone outside a year ago. Jason didn't know. It's not that I purposely hid it. It's that he hasn't paid attention to me for a long time. Or he didn't think I would cheat on him from the bottom of his heart. I heard him talking to a friend on the phone. "Luna. She can't leave me. Even if I'm out, she'll still wait for me at home." At that moment I suddenly began to reflect on myself. Why is it okay for him? Why can't I? Why can he justifiably say, "It's normal for men to have casual flings outside the home"? And me? Why can't I? It was a painful experience. So I bravely stepped out of the shackles of marriage. The first person I cheated on was Ethan, the young master of the Hua family. He was in a bar fight that night. And I was watching. As a spectator. I just commented, "Young people are so hot." And then he caught me. "Ma'am. I'm even hotter in bed. Do you want to try?" I looked at his bruised and battered face that could not hide his handsome face, as well as the hidden developed pectoral muscles and rounded and firm buttocks. I had the courage to try it for one night. I couldn't get rid of him. Ethan's sticky skills are even better than Jason's trophy girlfriend's. At first, he was just a stalker in bed. At first, he was just pestering me in bed. Gradually, he started to get the better of me. He wants me to give him a commitment. Just like last night. This young master in the middle of the night, like taking the wrong drugs, suddenly rushed to my house and forced me to make it official for him. I didn't let go and was tortured by him for the whole night. If it wasn't for the fact that he had to go on a business trip early this morning, I think he would have bumped into Jason. Jason's cell phone kept ringing. His trophy girlfriend had pressed several calls. It was so loud that I could hear it. She was crying. Why is it taking so long to get divorced? Is it because the other party doesn't agree? You promised me that you would divorce her even if you walk away with nothing. Are you lying to me? When I heard the words "walk away with nothing," my eyes lit up a bit. Jason coaxed her in a low voice. "Soon. Wait for me at home. I'll buy you your favorite buffalo wings later. 1 hour. At most. You have to come back." "Okay." Jason hung up the phone. "Luna. If there's nothing wrong, sign the papers." Jason rushed me. In fact, the divorce agreement was not a big problem. Jason shared half of my assets. So I could see that he was sincere. I could have accepted it. But thinking about my current status and the years of humiliation, there are cheap not to take advantage of. Bad luck for life. There are scum of the cheap not to take advantage of. Bad luck 8 lifetimes. So at that moment, I pretended to be difficult to say. Jason. When Jiang's group because of poor management almost bankrupt. Is that I accompany you to socialize drink to internal bleeding. Only to pull to the sponsorship talked about financing. Luna. That's all in the past. If your feelings are gone, they are gone. You can't keep my heart if you keep my people. So why bother? Jason advised me. I think I should have a share in Jiang's group. I said bluntly. Jason froze for a moment. He probably didn't realize that what I want is Jiang's group. Not him. I want 50% of the original shares of Jiang's group in your hands. Not the converted cash. What do you want the shares for? Jason was surprised. Keep it. I said lightly. Jason was a bit hesitant. To him, the shares were naturally more important. He wanted absolute control of the group. If he gave me 50%, he wouldn't be the largest shareholder. Okay. Jason agreed in one gulp. It should be because he thinks that even if I have shares, I can't really be involved in the company's decision-making. I want the discounted money too. I continued to make demands. Luna. Don't give me an inch. Jason was clearly reluctant. I'll just have the money. I looked at Jason. And you. With great love. Jason looked at my bloodshot eyes and trembling body and held back the pain. Okay. I'll give it to you. But Luna. Don't pester me again. It's a deal. Jason quickly had his lawyer redraft a divorce agreement, which I signed with alacrity. I took his car to the Civil Affairs Bureau. The moment I opened the passenger door, I saw a few big words posted on it. Reserved for Her Highness. Everyone else get out of the way. Obviously I didn't put it there. Jason also noticed it and explained. Little girls love to mess around. It's okay. I'll ride in the back. The road was quiet. Jason suddenly asked me. Why don't you say anything? I was reading the tweets Ethan sent me. He just got off the plane. And he's bombarding me with messages. Safe landing. Missed you. Do you miss me? Every second I'm away from you is torture. Make it official when I get back. Okay? What's so great about Jason's man-whore? Not as handsome as me. Not as rich as me. Not as young as me. Not as strong as me. Luna. Jason's voice was a little loud. I frowned. What's wrong? Who are you talking to? Can't you hear me when I'm talking? Something wrong? I was surprised. I said that after the divorce. If you have any difficulties, you can come to me. After all, we're a couple and I'm not that insensitive. Jason repeated impatiently. Good. I nodded, agreeing. The car fell silent again. Jason couldn't help but add. Is there nothing you want to say to me? Then I wish you and her a long life. I said. No need to pretend in front of me. Jason was generous. No pretense. Trash deserves trash. Forever. Suddenly Jason was kind enough to say. Luna. You should see more of the outside world. Your life is too narrow. Don't you realize you don't have many friends? You're like this. Will you be able to find your next home after you divorce me? I laughed lightly and said. It's all divorced. So I don't need you to worry about my affairs. I'm worried that you're alone and have no one to take care of you. Haven't I been alone for so many years? I sneered. Jason naturally understood my sarcasm. He paused. I mean, I have a lot of friends. Do you want me to introduce you? Sure. I graciously agreed. Jason was a bit stunned. Then said. Okay. If there are good ones later, I'll introduce them to you. After arriving at the Civil Affairs Bureau, we quickly registered for divorce. When leaving originally Jason said to send me, but could not resist the urging of his trophy girlfriend and left in a hurry. I looked up at the blue sky and white clouds above my head, and finally realized what it means to be reborn. More than 20 years of feelings. Really in this moment. The smoke disappears. I didn't tell Ethan that Jason and I registered for divorce. I can't say why. It could be that I didn't even think about giving Ethan a commitment. People play games. I'm not going to make the same mistake. But Jason's trophy girlfriend just couldn't wait. On the 5th day of our registered divorce, she sent out a friend circle to declare her sovereignty. When we first added WeChat friends, it was the canary who took the initiative. I initially refused, but could not resist her persistence. One day a slip of the hand. Agreed. Her text reads: choose a program to end your life. Meet a man and white head. The photo below is a picture of her and Jason holding hands, both wearing the same pair of rings. It happened to be that day. Jason and I had a mutual friend's birthday and we both went. Jason brought his trophy girlfriend along. Before I came, I heard a group of people joking in the private room. When are you two going to have your wedding banquet? Luna really agreed to divorce? I remember she loves you so much. Right? She's been in love with you all her life. How did you convince Luna not to stalk you? Teach me. Jason didn't say anything. I replied with a big smile. The property is evenly distributed. The group was a little embarrassed to see me show up. My friend who was celebrating his birthday rushed to round up the crowd and greeted everyone at the table. I was at ease. The trophy girlfriend, however, frequently looked at me. In her eyes are all provocative. In the end, she couldn't help it. She took the initiative to get up. Sister Sue, Jason has lost a lot of money in order to divorce you. I don't even care about that. I just hope you won't pester Jason anymore in the future. I'll drink to that first. After saying that, he drank the glass of wine in his hand. I didn't bother. The trophy girlfriend got a little upset. Sue, you and Jason are divorced. Is it possible that you still have thoughts about him? Okay. Jason greeted the canary. Let's talk about these things in private. No. I want her to promise in front of everyone that she won't bother us again. Canary pouted. I just want you all to myself. Her voice was soft. Jason was eating it up. He sighed. Luna, just give Cheryl a promise and put her at ease. I looked at Jason askance. I hadn't remembered it anymore. But it suddenly came back to me that he had once drunkenly knelt down on the floor and said he would love me for the rest of my life. That if I wanted the stars in the sky, he would pick them for me. This scene is really cutting. I smiled lightly. Don't worry. I don't take garbage. Jason's face, which was still smiling, went cold. Canary's face wasn't much better. I continued. To correct you, Jason and I divorced. Not that he lost a lot of money. It's all because I deserve it. Also, half of the money Jason spent on you in the first place was mine. Not making you pay it back was a kindness to you. You should be thankful for that instead of getting an inch. You. Canary blushed at my words. Jason was protective. Luna, even if you're not willing to divorce me, there's no need to embarrass the little girl. There is no reluctance. I said word for word. Don't be tough. I know you would direct can't stand the matter that I don't love you anymore. The door of the room was suddenly pushed open. A familiar voice rang out. Sorry I'm late. The moment I saw Ethan, I was a little surprised. Wasn't it said that this business trip would take about 10 days? It's only been a few days? The others were also attracted by his arrival. The host family is exceptionally warm. I'm really flattered that Mr. Hua has come to visit. Have a seat over here, he said. This way. He was about to let Ethan sit in the main seat. Everyone shows respect for Ethan. In this circle, Ethan is considered to be a higher level of rich second generation than them. Naturally, he wanted to curry favor. No need to be polite. I'll just sit here. Ethan walked straight to my side. I didn't even dare to look at him. I was afraid that he would do something out of the ordinary. Yes. Yes. The host quickly greeted the waiter and added seats. I unconsciously moved to the side. The chair, however, was yanked by Ethan. I glanced back at him. looked at him with a smug smile on his face. Even in the next moment, his unruly foot was between my legs. I tensed and clamped my legs together. Not only did this fail to make Ethan leave me, but he pushed closer. Major Hua. I'll drink to you. Jason suddenly walked over. My heart raced. There was a feeling as if I was caught in the act of adultery. Look. Even after a year, I still can't accept this kind of thing. But Jason can. Good thing. It's already the divorce cooling off period. I was gradually relaxing. Ethan glanced at Jason. I don't drink. I'm the one who's being abrupt. Jason wasn't embarrassed and said with a sense of calm. Then Huadaosher can just drink water. I'll drink. I've been on an airplane all day. I just want to eat something quietly now. Ethan doesn't give Jason any face at all. Jason's face is even thicker. But he can't hang on to it anymore. He shuddered and laughed. I've disturbed Huadaosher's meal. I'll punish myself with a drink. Huadaosher. Please enjoy your meal. Jason leaves. The others who also wanted to come and make a toast chose to wait and see because of Ethan's attitude. The host family sees that the atmosphere is a bit off and quickly takes the initiative to liven things up. Everyone was no longer formal and drank with each other. The party returned to normal. Canary pressed on again. Sister Sue. I just drank with you and you still haven't given me a positive answer. I was somewhat speechless. Dealing with Ethan was tiring enough. Take advantage of the fact that Huadaosher is here as well. And let him bear witness for us. Canary has a resolute attitude. Like she will never give up until I give her an explanation. What kind of witness? Ethan was interested. The feet under the table were not honest either. Canary saw Ethan took care of her. More vigor. She hastened to say. As we all know, Jason and Luna have registered for divorce. In order to get together, Jason gave most of his family property to Luna. But Luna still want to pester Jason not to let go. I saw Ethan's face getting worse and worse the more he listened. Canary said more and more excited. Today so many friends are here. Huadaosher also came. I just want to let Luna give me a promise. Never come to pester Jason again. After all, we should pay the price. Have given her. She cannot be so shameless. I really laughed at that. How she had the chutzpah to say the words. Shameless. I was about to say something. Ethan beat me to it. If I remember correctly, you seem to be the mistress? Canary froze for a moment and said with a red face. Luna and Jason have already divorced. I am now Jason's rightful fiancé. And Jason has already proposed to me, said the man. And raised the ring on his hand. Not to mention that they are only registering for divorce now. They haven't really gotten the divorce certificate yet. Even if they are divorced, you're still a married man who seduced them during their marriage. Ethan sarcastically. What's the matter? You still have a sense of superiority from being a mistress? The one who is not loved is the mistress. Canary said righteously. Jason and I truly love each other. Jason didn't love Luna a long time ago. She's the mistress in love. 9 years of compulsory education. Missed you? Ethan sneered. Did no one teach you how to write the word shame? If you don't want to be a good human being, you have to be a shit-eating dog. Not only are you cheap, but you are also shameless. She is the one who is married to you. And you are just a chicken who steals chickens and dogs. The point is, you don't even know how to be a chicken. I was directly listening to the side and froze. That is to say, is there a possibility that you have cursed yourself too? The canary was so disliked that her eyes turned red. And she said with a sobbing voice. You. How can you say that to me? When you are a mistress. You should have the self-cultivation of being a mistress. Ethan didn't care about the canary at all. And frantically output. You have to listen when someone scolds you. You have to suffer when you are torn in public. And you have to keep your head down even more in front of the law. Look at you now. Not only have you failed to manage your unseemly identity, but you have to be a clown in broad daylight? Aren't you taking off your clothes and showing them to people? Oh. I almost forgot. The best thing a mistress can do is to take off her clothes. That last sentence is about you. Right? This person is so cruel that he really curses himself. I was dumbfounded. Canary was directly scolded and cried. Jason's face turned green beside him. But he was in Ethan's way and held back his anger. Canary see Jason does not help her. Crying even more pearly. Jason. They all bully me. I do not want to live. People just love you. In the end. What mistake to be so humiliated. Jason couldn't help himself and said. What de shao? My family matters. It's not your turn to come and teach. Right? Isn't this what she wanted me to witness? Ethan said rightfully. I just said a fair word and you guys broke your defenses? If you don't even have the mental capacity to be a mistress, how can you be so shameless? Besides, who said this is just your family matter? Ethan had not finished his sentence. Ah! I suddenly exclaimed. Everyone looked at me in surprise. That. I accidentally bit my tongue. I made a random excuse. To stop Ethan from rambling. Of course. I'm going to the restroom. I got up and left. I expected Ethan to follow me. And that's exactly what happened. I walked out of the private room and went into the restroom. Before I could lock the door, Ethan came in. The next moment I was pressed against the wall. Unable to move. Open your mouth and let me see. Ethan pressed down. His hot breath hitting my face. I could feel how palpably restless he was through his clothes. I shook my head violently. Good girl. Don't make me do it in an indecent way. Ethan's sensual lips were all but pressed against mine. What are you going to do? Well. My body shuddered. I thought he was going to force a kiss on me. What I didn't realize was that he pulled my hand into his shirt and kept going down. Ethan never used force on me. But would make me behave. It was also the year that I really realized Jason's pleasure. Wildflowers are more fragrant than house flowers. Quite a bit. Why didn't you tell me that you and Jason registered for divorce? Ethan's voice was husky and he bit my ear. Is that why you came back so many days early? Were you planning to surprise me? Ethan didn't even listen to what I was saying. His eyes lit up. That's not it. Simply didn't want to be responsible. Why did you just stop me from talking? Ethan obviously knew that I had just lied. Wasn't it you yourself who said that a mistress has to have self-mastery? I gasped a little. You're kind of in the dark right now. So when are you going to make it official for me? Huh? Ethan trailed off. It's very erotic. So I couldn't hold back. I took the initiative to hook Ethan's neck and kissed him. Ethan. Who could stand me like this? Immediately put the matter of make it official just now behind him. Of course. In the end. In this kind of place. We didn't really do anything. Just from here out. My mouth by Ethan to bite through. I also accidentally ran into Jason in the hallway outside. He looked like he was waiting for me on purpose. Luna. Have you had enough? Jason asked me coldly. Heh. I laughed. Jason. Have you figured out who's really making a scene tonight? Why are you bothering with a little girl? How old is she? How old are you? What's the point? Jason questioned me. Not really. I nodded. Then go apologize to Cheryl. I mutter and add. Why would I bother with a chicken? So I didn't say a word tonight. Luna. You passed. Jason blushed. You're only making me hate you more and more. Does it matter if you hate me or not? I was a bit puzzled. Divorce is irrelevant. Who cares about each other's feelings? You don't have to be tough. I know exactly how you feel about me. All you have to do tonight is apologize to Cher and I can promise you that we separate but cohabiting. I was stunned and couldn't believe what I was hearing. Jason could actually say something so brazen. No wonder the old people always say, if it's not a family, you don't enter a family. Jason and Qin Shuer. What a perfect match. You don't have to be too happy. What I give to Shuer in the future will not be less. Even if I don't have any feelings for you, I will still be responsible for you to the end. Jason said with great righteousness. I couldn't say a word for a long time. For the first time, I realized that Jason and I have known each other for over 20 years. And it seems like I don't know him at all. Jason. What makes you think that I don't want to be a good wife? But want to be a mistress? How much of a criminal am I? I asked him in amusement, sounding as calm as possible. I have to give Cher a commitment. You can only commit. Jason was adamant. Why would I want to commit myself? Luna. See it through. To be precise. Why do I have to surround myself with you, Jason? If I can't be your wife, I can be your mistress? Are you a Yuan? Do I have to be yours? Or are all men dead? I have a good-natured attitude. And I don't want to make a scene with Jason for the sake of the property. But some people really have no sense of proportion. Jason was so angry with me that his face turned red. Luna. You better not regret what you said today. No regrets. I didn't hesitate for a second and added. Don't forget. 25 days later. Well, go to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a divorce certificate. I won't forget. Just don't play any tricks. Jason gritted his teeth. Okay. I left without saying a word. Just 2 steps away. I saw Qin Shuer come to Jason in a panic. The moment she saw me, she exploded. Luna. You're actually alone with Jason? What did you guys do? Why is your mouth broken? Did Jason bite it? I pursed my lips before remembering that I had just been bitten by Ethan. In my heart, I was also a bit angry. It was clearly on purpose. He was afraid that people wouldn't know that I had someone outside. I huffed. Bitten by a dog. You called Jason a dog? Qin Shuer was about to faint with anger. Jason quickly explained. Not me. I didn't touch Luna. She bit her lip to deliberately frame me. After so many years. I am tired of her. Saying that, he yelled at me again. Luna. You just spoke so hard. And now you're here to separate me and Cher's feelings. Don't you think your behavior is very nasty? I just couldn't control the flood of energy inside me and was about to lash out. Ethan came out from the restroom with a big strut. Mr. Jiang. How can you have such a big face? Are you the only dog under the sky? Ethan walked up to me, lifted my chin, and nibbled down on my lips in front of Jason and Qin Shuer. This moment, my hanging heart finally died. After the deep kiss, Jason and Qin Shuer were both dumbfounded. Ethan took me into his arms. Look closely. I bit it. You dog. You're quite proud of it. I saw Jason's eyes go from shock to disbelief to anger too. Unacceptable? He said. Luna. Is it true? If you are not blind. This is not clear to see? By now. I can only admit it. Ethan couldn't stop the corners of his mouth from rising when he heard me say that. If there was a dog's tail, it would probably have already gone up to the sky. Luna. You. Jason swallowed the words on the edge of his mouth. It was probably too sudden. And he couldn't organize his words well for a while. I don't need to explain too much to him. He was a man of the past and could understand. I dragged Ethan away. When I left, I suddenly turned back and looked at Qin Shuer. Qin Shuer felt my line of sight and immediately straightened her body. At that moment, a trace of guilt inexplicably arose in my heart. The same as a junior. How can Qin Shuer be so righteous, while Ethan has to be so stifled? Thinking about it, Ethan really is a self-cultivated mistress. What are you looking at me for? Seeing that I didn't say anything, Qin Shuer angrily said. It's true that being young can be your proud capital. But Jason can't. I said with amusement. After all, it's all about what I'm tired of playing with. And you, who are just starting to get hooked. This time, I dragged Ethan away without looking back. I only heard Qin Shuer's shrill shout behind me. What's Luna being so condescending about? She's a cougar. She can't even keep her own man. What right does she have to clamor? Jason, you have to do something for me. You have to help me out. People who are pure and innocent don't follow you just for the sake of being aggrieved. Pure and innocent? Ironic. Ethan and I didn't go back to the birthday party. We just took the car and left. Car? Ethan asked me carefully. Are you angry? No. I knew Ethan was also trying to help me out. Besides, it's nothing I can't admit to after what I did. Can I pay for it? He asked me pathetically. I'm obviously in a bit of a state of mind right now. It's really not that I'm blaming him. It's thinking, how can I not be responsible for him? I turned around, met his handsome face at close range, and then down to see his breasts bared with his shirt fully unbuttoned at some point. And the words of refusal came to my lips. But I really couldn't say them. Men. It really affects the speed of my sword drawing. I finally got carried away by him and lured him to the hotel. The next day when I returned home with a sore back, Jason was actually there. The man who hadn't been back once in 800 years was now sitting in the living room. "Where did you go last night?" Jason asked me. With a look of, well, inquisitiveness. I ignored him and headed straight for the bedroom. "Luna. There's no way you're going to get me back even in this way. Don't get any ideas," Jason reminded in a cold voice. So to this day, Jason still thinks that I can't let him go. I paused and laughed softly. "Then why did you come back today?" Jason was righteous. "We are at least husband and wife. I don't want you to degrade yourself. I don't want you to fall for it. People like you, who have never seen the world, are too easy to be cheated. Too easy to be cheated by men. I know very well what men are like. Ethan and you are just playing around. There is no way that you two will ever get along." I looked straight at Jason. "Didn't you and Cheryl Chin turn out quite well? Can you compare to Cher?" Jason was agitated. "Cher is young and beautiful. Clean in body and mind. But what about you? You're almost 30. And you've been married. What man would want a second-hand woman? Let alone the Hua family's young master, who is even 5 years younger than you. Aren't you trying to humiliate yourself? So in your opinion, I won't be wanted by any more men. And yet you still want to divorce me and ruin my life." I sneered. I said, "We can separate but cohabiting. Although we don't have a husband and wife relationship anymore. But I can take care of you for the rest of your life. As long as you don't degrade yourself so much." Jason looked generous. "I'll forget about you and Ethan this time. It won't happen again." I was really disgusted. I said, "Jason, who are you to let it go? You and Qin Shuer. You tangled with so many Qin Shuer-like women. What qualifications do you have to hold me accountable? I'm second-hand? What about you? Rotten goods? I'm a man. Can a man and a woman be the same?" Jason was shaken. "It seems that not only Qin Shuer, but also you are the one who missed out on the 9-year compulsory education. You don't have to lecture me here. Luna. In the final analysis, this society is like this. Men and women have different social status from birth. So what if you've received a higher education? But it's also so that you can marry better." Had to admit, I was really disliked by Jason at this moment. Perhaps it was. I felt offended by him even if I said one more word to him now. I began to look at him. I also began to look at myself. Was I blind back then? Or does a person really change? They become so disgusting. Jason said, "I don't want to talk too much. Luna. The day you are beaten by the society, you will know what it means not to listen to the words of the old man." After saying that, Jason left. As he left, he gave another admonition. "Don't forget the day you get your divorce papers." I took a deep breath. I was really pissed off by Jason. Where in the world did he get the courage? As a man, he is really proud of him? Good thing. Finally recognized. Also fast. Completely clear. The day Jason and I got our divorce papers. I went to the Civil Affairs Bureau early in the morning. Jason did not delay. We quickly took the divorce certificate. This means that Jason's 50% of the shares and discounted money, all into my account. Finally, I was relieved. It's not that I'm afraid Jason won't divorce me. I'm just worried that Jason won't be able to give me this much. And I don't want to waste time pulling him around anymore. Luna. Have you thought it through? Jason suddenly asked me as I walked out the door of the Civil Affairs Bureau. What? I wondered. Separated but cohabiting. I laughed. Jason said. On the condition that you don't get involved with another man outside. Jason. Where on earth do you get the confidence that I can still follow you around as shamelessly as I always have after the way you treated me? What is it about you that makes you worth remembering? Just because you have a man-whore in your pants? Show some respect. Jason was curious. Respect is mutual. Have you ever respected me? Besides, why should I speak kindly to a lowlife? Disgusting. Dirty scum? Isn't that punishing myself? To tell the truth, this moment really hurt me. After enduring it for so long, I could finally vent my emotions without any worries. Jason stared at me hard, unable to believe that I would scold him so unabashedly. I said, Jason, what's the point of saying I'm highly educated? I'm officially answering you now. With a higher education, I can help filter out lowlifes like you from my life. I can also minimize my losses when I get hurt. It'll even make you realize that women are never subordinate to men. You really haven't experienced the beatings of society. Jason snorted. Then, see you in the ring. I dashed off. I didn't care about the angry light behind me. I just felt that I had never felt more relaxed and happy. And this moment was the pinnacle of it. After the divorce, I took the same amount of shares as Jason and entered Jiang's group. To enter Jiang's actually not difficult. When Jiang's accident happened, Jason and I had just been married for 2 years. I put my parents left me all the inheritance. Are invested to save the river. And accompanied Jason everywhere to pull investment. Jiang's group of people are not unaware of my ability. If I did not accompany Jason step by step, Jiang's has long been gone. And Jason is also in that crisis. Was appointed chairman of the board of directors. Took over his father's position. At the same time, Jason returned double the money I had invested in Jiang. I retired on merit. Because Jason said, Juan, I don't want you to work too hard. I can support my family and you. Sure enough. A man can be trusted and a sow can get into a tree. But it's good to learn from our mistakes. Jason naturally won't agree to my joining Jiang's management. But because he is no longer the largest shareholder, he no longer has the absolute right to speak. Coupled with the fact that Jason spent a lot of time on women in the past 2 years, the group's negligence has caused many directors dissatisfaction. And now for the sake of women can even cut off the shares of the group. The shareholders have no trust in him. Letting me into the group, in a way, is also a lesson for Jason from the board. And all of this was in my plan. Even the fact that Qin Shuer would not let Jason come to work at the company because I was there was under my expectation. Qin Shuer's youth is her capital. But her ignorance, more than anything, would cost her. The board is getting more and more dissatisfied with Jason's long absence from the company. My ability to work, on the other hand, made the board more and more trusting. So 6 months passed. After I finished approving the last proposal, I saw Ethan in front of my office at the end of the night, whom I hadn't seen for a long time. The secretary was a bit timid, because it's the Hua group's youngest master. We have cooperation with Hua, so we don't dare to stop him. And young master Hua won't let us disturb you. I nodded my head, indicating that I knew. Come in. I led Ethan into my office. I knew there was always going to be a day to face this. It couldn't be that I could really get rid of him by sending him a breakup on WeChat, then pulling the plug on him, and then going to his parents and confessing our unseemly relationship. Ethan's love brain is love brain. But he's not a bully. And he doesn't call himself a young master for nothing. Did you miss me? Ethan asked me with red eyes. I didn't dare to meet his eyes. I was afraid that if I didn't make a good move, he would strangle me. I just lowered my head and answered. Would you be mad if I said no? Yes. He said. Very honest. I'm sorry. Am I just a tool for you to get back at your ex-husband's brother? I shake my head and say seriously. Or a tool in bed. Ethan stares at me. Figures he should be pissed off. Then throw his face in the air and walk away. At best. Slap me in the face before he left. But the next moment, I heard him say, so why don't you keep using it? I'm good with it. You're good. But I'm afraid of getting addicted. And a twinge of guilt welled up inside me. I've seen Ethan in front of other people. And it really wasn't this pathetic puppy dog look. Luna. Let's get married. Ethan suddenly asked me to marry him. I was shocked. What are you thinking? Not to say I haven't thought about getting married again. Have you thought about what your family would agree to? They did. My jaw dropped. No. How could the Hua family accept a woman in a second marriage? When I first went to Ethan's parents, they weren't half as nice to me. I know you don't believe in marriage anymore because of a scumbag. But I'm young. And am bound to die later than you. I can always wait. I thank you for dying later than me. Ethan's eyes are firm. You can tie the knot when you say so. If you don't tie the knot for the rest of your life, it'll stay with you for the rest of your life. Brother. Love brain can really become unfortunate. I was so scared by Ethan that I ran away. Ethan didn't chase me, but only promised loudly behind me. Luna. In this life. You're the one. Back home. I haven't even calmed down yet. And then I saw Jason again. Did you commit an offense today? It's not a good idea. Juan. I want to talk to you. Jason looked at me with a tired look in his eyes. What? Can I come in? No. Jason sighed. He said. I'm tired. You're tired and you came to me? I sneered. Shouldn't you be looking for your Cheryl? To give you a full body massage? You know what I'm talking about. Jason was serious. Yeah. I do. Of course I do. Jason and Cheryl have had a rough 6 months. It was rumored that they didn't really get married either. Cheryl Chen's possessiveness towards Jason is almost to the point of perversion. Even if Jason's secretary gives Jason a report on his work, she will still be jealous and lose her temper. She also has to check Jason's cell phone every day. She is afraid that Jason is looking at some woman. Even Jason in some woman's circle of friends to click a like. She has to run to the person in front of her to scold her vixen shameless. Jason was able to patiently persuade her at first. But after a long time, Chen Schwer's behavior really affected his normal life. And he became impatient. Jason's impatience and stimulate the Chen Schwer's nerves. More doubt Jason does not love her. Moving to suicide. But also really wants Jason because of entertainment home a little late. Chen Schwer slit her wrists. Although not dead. But really scared Jason. The family also managed to alarm the Chen Schwer's family. Her family is also aggressive to Jason. Said Chen Schwer pure and innocent a little girl followed the divorced him. If he dares to Chen Schwer bad, they will not let him go. Jason every day is worried about Chen Schwer demon. Every day is afraid of Chen's family to make trouble. Every day is in a state of neurasthenia. It's a wonder that he's not tired. But wasn't it all his own fault? Didn't he just love misery? The vigor of a young girl? Let's remarry. Jason took a deep breath and seemed to have made up his mind before opening his mouth. So today's a good day to marry? I will handle my relationship with Chen Schwer cleanly. And will not bring trouble to our marriage. Jason. You are shameless. I interrupted him. Jason paused eyes. I think I got a tip that you will be removed from your position at the board meeting tomorrow. Right? I exposed his nastiness straight away. Jason didn't deny it and explained. It has nothing to do with that. I really want to start over with you. You think you'll believe that? Although I divorced you. I never married Chen Schwer. That's to keep the feelings between us. Believe it or not. After we divorced, I really realized that the person I originally liked was you all along. Don't believe it. I was blunt. I admit that I was wrong to divorce you in the first place. It was me who was confused. Chen Zhuer came to me pure. I as a man should give her an account. Jason. I really don't want to listen to his nonsense. Who is not pure and innocent? My first time. Did I give to the dog? Jason was dumbfounded. Don't pretend. I don't even believe a punctuation mark in what you're saying right now. I turned around to go home. Jason pulled me back. Luna. Let's say I was wrong before. I actually regretted it from the moment I got divorced. And I still can't figure out why I got to this point with you. You thought it through. I hit the nail on the head. You know all too well how little it cost you to try and be wrong. You thought I could put up with all the women you had out there. And that I would be just as accepting of you getting divorced and remarrying. You decided that my parents died in an accident and you were the only one in my world. So you gave me money and shares. And anyway, you can take them back whenever you want. And Qin Shuer really gave you a different kind of happiness. You accompany the little girl to have a little fun. Play well and keep on playing. Play not good to loses. But now you suddenly realize that both sides seem to be out of your control. And you start to panic. Start to be afraid. So you can't wait to get back to the way things were. But Jason, really don't be so narcissistic. You're not so good that women all over the world are going to surround you. Jason tried to retort. I interrupted him again. Don't talk about women's chastity. New China has been established for 75 years. And male chauvinism is just an excuse for self-righteous men to deceive themselves and others. But aren't you not with Ethan? Jason exclaimed. I've asked around. It was you who took the initiative to go to his family and took the initiative to break off your relationship with Ethan. So that means I can't get over you and I love you? I laughed breathlessly. Doesn't it? Is there a possibility that I know Ethan and I have no results? So I don't want to hold each other back. After all, I took the best years of my youth and fed them to the dogs. Can't I learn a lesson? Jason looked at me. Speechless. I wasn't interested in him either. I was about to leave again. A familiar voice came from behind me. I knew it. You dumped me off a cliff. It's not that you don't love me. It's just that you're afraid my family won't approve. I turned to look at Ethan. Why are you here? I missed you after you left. So I came to see you. Ethan was honest. Looking straight at me. Don't you miss me? Anyone could hear how unclean the word miss was. Ethan didn't ask for an answer. He walked straight to me and kissed me without even a second's delay. That is. You can't see such a big person next to you? Ethan kissed me for a long time and turned to Jason. How much longer are you going to watch? Don't you have any sense of proportion? You'll be breaking the law if you keep looking at the next image. Jason reddened and gritted his teeth and left. As soon as he left, Ethan pressed on again. I refused his intimacy. Ethan, I didn't agree to get back together with you. Luna, I want. Just saying that being in your family's way is just an excuse for me to reject the scum. These 6 months. I'm suffocating. Ethan tugged my hand into his pants pocket. It needs you to comfort it properly. You haven't listened to a word I've said. I didn't hold back for long though. Who's to say I didn't put up with it for 6 months? Through the unanimous decision of the board of directors, I got the absolute management right of Jiang's group. By the way, I hollowed out all the Jiang family members. The board of directors ended. Jason came to the office to look for me. He said, Juan, give me another chance. You are wasting our mutual time. Do you know how hard it was for me to watch you and Ethan together last night? I don't know. And it's none of my business. I didn't sleep a wink. I looked at him. So I'm granting you a vacation to go back and get some rest? Luna, I've really regretted it and realized who I really love. Don't humiliate yourself. I said in one word. Jason pursed his lips. Here's a vacation slip. I put it in front of him. Fill it out yourself for as long as you want and give it to HR. Jason looks at me. He looks at me with strange eyes. Just like I looked at him back then. So strange that I even suspected he was possessed. Jason stumbled away. But after that, Jason is still 3 times to find me to get back together. Admit fault. Really cannot stand his pestering. I also through the board of directors will be his position in the group removed. The future can only pure dividends. Also not allowed to security guards let him into the Jiang's group store. Finally stopped. Soon after, I heard that Jason was sent to jail. The reason is that he accidentally killed Qin Shuer. Qin Shuer couldn't accept Jason breaking up with her. In the excitement of the two arguing and pulling, Jason finally did not hold back. Picked up the fruit knife on the coffee table. Ending the life of Qin Shuer. Before Jason's execution, he asked to see me. I went. Jason sitting in front of him. has completely lost the appearance of the former scenery. He was disheveled, hollow, and a walking corpse. He should not have thought. But just play with women. How could he put his whole life on the line? He said, Luna, I don't regret killing Qin Shuer. If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have gotten into such a mess with each other. So, she deserved to die. Jason, why are you still fooling yourself? I looked at him with amusement. The culprit between us has never been yourself. If it wasn't for Qin Shuer, I wouldn't have divorced you. And you would have been my wife forever. Divorce is sooner or later. If you don't mention it, I will too. Why? Jason looked at me with red eyes. Luna, don't you love me? Haven't you loved me the most since I was a kid? Do you think it's still appropriate to say the word love now? Jason was in hot tears. He looked at me and was silent for a long time. Seeming to calm down, he asked me, Luna, since when? Don't you love me? Was it after being with Ethan? No. I said bluntly. From the moment I aborted the baby in my tummy. We had a baby? Jason was surprised. When I found out you were cheating on me for the first time. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you? But you forgave me. You forgave me that time. Jason doesn't believe that. He doesn't believe that I stopped loving him that time. He said, if you hadn't forgiven me, why didn't you divorce me then? Because I had to weigh the pros and cons. And I couldn't let you get away with it. I confessed. No. You're lying to me. If you didn't love me then, you wouldn't have waited so many years to cheat on me. You must be lying to me. Right? Jason died unable to accept that after years of proudly flying the colorful flag. He realized in the end that the red flag at home had long since collapsed into rubble. I told him calmly, Jason, I didn't ask you for a divorce because I knew very well that even if I divorced you, I wouldn't be able to get into another relationship anytime soon. And for me, not getting a divorce wouldn't hold me back. For me, not getting a divorce won't delay my life. Besides, if I got a divorce then, would you agree? You were just new to the outside world. You didn't have any feelings. And even though I made a fuss and you agreed, I couldn't get my share of the property that I wanted. And if you manipulated me a little bit, I wouldn't be able to get what I wanted. So, I took advantage of our marriage to collect evidence of your infidelity, to verify the assets in your name, to transfer the wealth in my hands, and even to pave the way for my future. It wasn't until this year that I got everything in order. Why did I not cheat until last year? Because I'm not you. I'm not that brazen. It took me a long time to build up my mind before I could take this shameful step. It wasn't revenge on you either. Purely physical necessity. I looked at Jason. Looked at the pain he was having trouble hiding. He said, so if I don't bring up divorce this year, you will, won't you? Yes. In the divorce settlement. You already knew about the property portion. So you knew I was sincere about the divorce. So you put more money on me? Yes. On the day of the divorce. Your eyes were red and trembling. Not because you were sad, but because you were so happy? No. Jason's eyes twitched. It was after a long night of being tossed around by Ethan. Luna. I'm dying. Why don't you lie to me? Why? Jason was uncontrollably agitated. Devastated. Desperate. Because. You're not worth it. Jason couldn't stop the tears from falling. The last time he cried like this was at our wedding. It's true. Life is a closed loop. I left. I walked away. At the prison gate. Ethan was there waiting for me. I didn't realize until later that the only reason the Hua family agreed to go out with Ethan was because since Ethan and I got together, he stopped playing around. He's focused on making money to support his wife. That time the Hua family treated me badly. Not because they disliked my status, but because they didn't value Ethan. And the reason they agreed to send Ethan abroad was also a trick. They have long had the idea to send Ethan abroad for training. But Ethan refused to go. So they took this opportunity to let Ethan go abroad to open up the European market. And as long as they succeeded, they promised Ethan to be with me. Poor Ethan. He's been kept in the dark. He is still enjoying himself. I looked helplessly at Ethan's hand holding such a large bouquet of bright red roses. The man was so hungry. He didn't even miss proposing to me in front of the prison. What can I say? Let's give it a try. I cheated on my wife because I wanted to give it a try. But it turned out to be a great experience. What if I get married? Anyway, I won't lose out. Because marriage is never a woman's shackle. And a woman is never a man's accessory. Women want to live what kind of life? Any time to change. It is not too late.